I just wanted to make a really quick video about um, plastic products like these, the My Little Pony and the Bratz Pony, really anything, Barbies, a lot of Barbies and other dolls suffer from this. It's a leaching of plasticizer, the different materials that are used to make these different plastics and vinyls don't get along, and after a certain amount of time they start to interact and you get this really dangerous like greasy stuff leaching out of the toys. And you really shouldn't touch that stuff because my research has indicated that a lot of these chemicals are mimicking estrogen, and they are endocrine disruptors and stuff that you don't want in your body. So, there's a question of how this happens. Does it happen always, or why does it not happen to some of the ponies or toys and others? It happens. Well, one of the biggest factors are going to be how they're stored. When you have materials of different kinds resting on each other, there can be interaction. Also, it's really important if they're going from extreme heat and humidity to very cold in the winter to, high heat and humidity again. And these things are very hard on plastics, and they can definitely accelerate the problem. But there have been cases of the toys being kept in environmentally controlled areas that it still happened. Maybe less so, but it's still a possibility. So what I did when I brought these out of storage, the Bratz Pony was super bad. I mean, you could actually really see the glistening oil on the skin. And Pinkie Pie was pretty bad too, real sticky. Their hair is almost impossible to get this out of. I mean, I've tried washing it so many times. So I use a clean and clear, environmentally friendly soap. It cuts the grease, and that's a big part of the problem, is the grease on the surface. So that's step one. And I give it a really good scrubbing, especially the hair. And when you let it dry, you're still going to feel some stickiness. I'm not going to lie. It's not 100%, but it helps get some of it off, and it helps start breaking down some of that oil. And then I used the Citrusolve, and I'm not sure if just any old similar product would work. This one, I got it at a natural foods market, and it's really, I think, really helpful. It is a natural product as well. Has a mild orange smell. I'm hypersensitivity to odor, so I'm saying I can tolerate it. It's not bad. And I basically saturated a paper towel, and I washed, the outside of the body. But before I really went ahead with that, I did a test area, just to make sure I wouldn't take off the paint, because you don't want to remove the cutie mark or anything, or the makeup or anything like that. Now, Pinkie Pie came out pretty good, and she feels practically like she should. There's a few areas between the legs or under here that maybe I didn't get 100%. And I think it's best to do it in stages. And then at the end of the whole process, wash with cold water and the degreasing soap. By doing it that way, again, it's not going to be factory new, but if you just want to keep it and be able to handle it, without like gloves or something, the hair is, I would say, I improved it by 85% probably. And the body I improved by like 95%. So I think that's pretty impressive considering we were really toying with the garbage at this point. This pony, the Bratz pony, I can feel stickiness in different parts of the body. I didn't focus much on the Bratz pony as I did on Pinkie Pie, but I'm confident that with more Citrusol, I'll be able to get some of that off. I was thinking of using something like Goof Off or whatever, but those things are more concentrated, and I'm not sure I want to go that far. It might remove the makeup. If you can, I always say if you can use something that's less invasive, use it. You know, don't go for the nuclear option first. This one, the hair is better than Pinkie Pie's hair. Pinkie Pie's hair, for some reason, was far worse. And this one, the body was far worse. There's no rhyme or reason to this. There are Barbies who have a condition known as greasy face, where the vinyl in the head actually interacts with other materials, and it just starts to break down, and you get this horrible oily film. And there was a thought back in the day to fill the head with baking soda to absorb the oils. I don't know. I don't know that that's necessarily the greatest option. Maybe it's okay, and or maybe you can do that plus other things. But anyway, so a lot of people, because they know I do, you know, a lot with dolls and toys, have asked me about this problem. And then, of course, when I had taken the pony box out of storage, I found this horrible condition on several ponies, but none worse than these two. So if I was able to get these two back to kind of an okay, if you were going to really handle them and brush the hair and everything, I kind of recommend a glove. Probably, you know, like one of these disposable vinyl gloves or whatever. And when I use this, I always use the vinyl glove. So anyway, yeah, you have nothing to lose at this point, because you might have to throw them out if they're unsalvageable. So whatever you might be able to do to keep them from having to go in the garbage, this is a pretty good solution. And actually, this stuff is fantastic. Okay, and I'm not getting paid from these people, so I'm not endorsing anything. I'm just saying that, you know, this is the product I used. You could use something similar. It doesn't have to be that brand, but it's very gentle, and it probably won't hurt anything. The paint is absolutely perfect. Even after I used it on the cutie marks, they were fine. So that's my recommendation, and I hope it helps somebody out there.